Hello, my name is Jean Béliveau, and it is the 13th of August 2026. And I have this script for you. Toward a fully rational magnificism, a spiritual philosophy of freedom, wisdom, and hope. So today, I come before you to present something deeply personal, but something I choose to offer to humanity. I am not here to tell humanity what it must believe. I am here to say, this is what I believe. This is what I have tried to understand. And this is what I propose to humanity. That dimension, or that is, that distinction is fundamental. A truly free belief cannot be imposed. A truly living philosophy must be open to question, and an honest spirituality must be able to distinguish between what it knows, what it believes, and what it does not know. The Magnificism I propose therefore begins with a fundamental freedom. You are free to listen, free to reflect, free to accept, free to reject, and free to follow your own path. My conception of the divine. In my personal belief, my God is Zeus. This is my personal way of representing the divine and understanding God. But this belief belongs to me. A Christian may remain Christian, a Muslim may remain a Muslim, a Jew may remain Jewish. A person from another spiritual tradition may keep their own conception of the divine. And atheists, an atheist, may remain atheist. I can offer my vision without asking others to abandon theirs. Respecting another person's conscience does not require abandoning our own. The magnificent. At the heart of the magnificism is the magnificent. For me, the, the magnificent represents guidance, wisdom, hope, and the possibility of human development. Jean the Magnificent personally represents this path. But the magnificent can also be understood as a symbol, the human being who seeks to develop wisdom rather than arrogance, compassion rather than cruelty, and responsibility rather than domination. And also freedom rather than coercion. Coercion. Yeah. The goal is not to create people who think like me. The goal is to help people think better for themselves. Between nature and the divine. In my symbolic conception, humanity exists between two great dimensions. There is nature, earth, matter, the body, earthly life, and experience. And there is spiritual aspiration, light, the divine, meaning, and the desire to transcend our limitations. So I symbolically represent nature as a nourishing mother. The father represents the divine principle, and the magnificent symbolically represents the son who seeks to unite these two dimensions. But I want to make one thing clear. This is a spiritual and philosophical representation, not a scientific claim. The distinction allows spirituality to retain its depth while remaining honest about uh, what we cannot demonstrate. The soul and the afterlife. Uh, what happens after death? Well, I do not claim to know the scientific answer. Some believe in heaven, others believe in reincarnation, others believe in light or other dimensions, others hope to reunite with their loved ones or with God. And some believe there is no existence after death. Magnificism can leave room for all these different possibilities. For me, the essential idea may be simple or simpler. Let us live in such a way that whatever reality awaits us after death, we have done our best to become better human beings. Salvation and judgment. Salvation can be understood as the progression of the soul toward light, toward God, toward peace, or toward another form of fulfillment. Heaven can represent hope, and hell can be understood. For yes, and hell can be understood for those who accept that idea as consequence, purification, or an experience through which we learn what we still need to understand. I do not claim to know the mechanics of the afterlife, but I believe our conscience already plays an important role. We may be judged by others, by society, or by our conception of God, but we must also look at ourselves. Were we just? Were we just? Did we cause unnecessary harm? Did we repair our mistakes? Did we try to become better? Our conscience may be the first tribunal to which we must answer. Reason protects spirituality. I want magnificism to remain rational. A spiritual experience can be profoundly real to the person who experiences it without automatically becoming scientific evidence for everyone. An intuition can be extraordinary without being a demonstration. A belief can give meaning to a life without becoming a universally demonstrated truth. This is why I want to be able to say, this is my experience, this is my interpretation, this is my belief, and then allow everyone to decide what they think. Even if some of my personal interpretations were someday corrected, my work could continue to have philosophical, moral, and human value. A work open to criticism. I do not want a philosophy that forbids questions. If someone discovers an error in my reasoning, I must be willing to listen. If an idea can be improved, it should be improved. If a statement is too strong, it should be nuanced. Honest criticism is not the enemy of an intellectual work. It can be one of the instruments through which that work matures. A work that can never be questioned becomes dogmatic. A work that accepts questions can continue to evolve. Respect for others. I can be proud of my work without claiming that it is superior to every other work. I can speak about Zeus without asking everyone to believe in Zeus. I can speak about magnificism without asking everyone to become magnificent, magnificence. And I can be proud of my cultural and spiritual heritage while respecting the heritage of other peoples and traditions. Universally does not mean uniformity. An idea can be offered to the world without asking the world to become identical to the person who created it. Hmm. The transmission of my work. I want my work to be transmitted beyond my own lifetime. I want it to be read, studied, discussed, criticized, improved, and if it is, no, and if it possesses lasting value, preserved by future generations. I also want my role as its author to be recognized. Recognizing the author does not mean claiming that the work is superior to all others. It simply means recognizing its history. A work can become universal while still having a particular author. My boundary: I will respect disagreement, I will respect criticism, I will even respect the rejection of my ideas. But in turn, I ask that my words be presented honestly. We can challenge an idea without distorting the person who created it. I will, therefore, answer arguments with arguments. I will acknowledge my mistakes when I recognize them. And when responding is no longer useful, I can choose silence. Silence is not always a weakness. Sometimes it's a form of mastery. Uh, what I offer humanity. So, what I am actually proposing: a spirituality that accepts with reason, a faith that accepts doubt, a philosophy that accepts criticism, a vision that respects diversity, a search for the divine that recognizes uncertainty, and a conception of human greatness that does not depend upon dominating others. I do not ask humanity to believe in me blindly. I ask humans to think. I ask humanity to think. For the conclusion, a work offered, never imposed. When my life is finished, I will no longer be here to explain directly what I meant. My works will speak. Some people will understand them, others will criticize them, some will accept them, others will reject them. And that's normal. That is normal. That is normal. I cannot ask the future to think exactly as I do. I can only pass on what I have tried to understand. This is what I believe. This is what I have experienced. This is what I have built. And this is what I propose to humanity. Not an obligation, not an imposed truth, not an imposed truth, not domination, a proposition, a spiritual proposition, a philosophical philosophical proposition, a human proposition. And if someone finds in this work a reason to become wiser, freer, uh, more responsible, more compassionate, or simply more conscious of their existence, then it will already have accomplished something. Yes, because the true legacy of a philosophy is not the number of people who obey it; it is the number of minds it helps to think. So, if magnific- if magnis- if if magnificism is to have an ambition, let it be this. I'm sorry, uh, not to create people who think like me, but to contribute to creating people capable of thinking for themselves. Because true spiritual greatness may not consist in possessing all the answers. It may consist in having the courage to continue searching with reason, with freedom, with humility, and with hope. And with this conviction, I offer my path to humanity, but leave every human being free to choose their own. And thank you, and till next time.